Hello everybody, hello customers. Thank you very much that you participate to our virtual day today of a presentation of a new Havo product. Most of you know our company very well. You are using sealers from us. Havo is the worldwide leader for sealing machines for sterile packaging and medical packaging.
And probably we start with a short introduction, Wolfram. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, my name is Wolfram. I'm product manager and I'm also responsible for the new product which we will present to you.
Yeah, my name is Dirk Finkenrath. I'm Havo's customer care manager and my daily duties usually involve questions and application related problem solving, and some of you might even know me from previous trainings or maybe already from our Havo Academy videos. And for today, me and Wolfram have the pleasure to introduce to you this very innovative product. And I think Wolfram could start to just with a couple of key facts what we actually see in front of us.
Yes, most of you know how to seal a sterile packaging with a so-called rotary sealer or band sealer. What we see now here is a new development which is developed for use in for medical packaging and pharmaceutical packaging, and also use for use in clean rooms. We are speaking about a rotary sealer. The function is you insert a pouch manually, and the sealing machine is sealing and printing to the pouch.
And sealing and printing brings us straight to the point. Here with this product we have now first time the possibility to not only print information on the back of sterile barrier systems, we also have the possibility to print information onto the front of the packaging, onto the film part. And not only simplified information, this is very complex symbol, text and barcoding possible, and the key word here is UDI. And Wolfram could probably explain how we managed to actually get this complex information onto the front of the package.
Yes, you could imagine that with the internal printer, which you already know from our rotary sealer, you can of course print barcodes as an EAN code, but that needs a lot of space and the printing quality is not good enough that you can read it after the sterilization. So the idea was to print with an inkjet printer directly to the film, and with this wipe resistant print out you can print the UDI code. The UDI code, most of you know that UDI code is are different information packed in one code. And with the inkjet printer, which we see here, this probe is the inkjet printer. You see here the tube, and we have a separate controller for the printer. That means we have a rotary sealer along with a inkjet printer, and this equipment is the complete system.
So Wolfram, what materials actually can be used for sealing and printing? I think I saw you prepared already some materials here in front of us, and as I see there, we have the typical paper or paper film pouches. We've got the possibility to print on Tyvek materials. We even have the possibility to print on aluminiums and PE pouches. So the system is extremely flexible, and especially for those PE pouches as well as the aluminium pouches, it's extremely crucial that the ink is wipe resistant to really maintain the information in a readable format on the pouch. So not only on the back of the pouch, which is the standard for most of our validatable rotary sealer, but also on the front.
Yeah, the process of sealing, the heat sealing process, is validatable. This is very important in the sector, in the life science sector. So the machine itself, the HM5000 PrintPak made, is controlling the temperature, the contact pressure, and the speed dwell, which are the requirements for a validated process.
Especially for the requirements for our customers in typical clean room applications, pharmaceutical industry, the device has been specifically designed with a stainless steel casing. We have the possibility to have exhaust filters that can simply clips in. The device can be cleaned easily with typical alcohol-based cleaning agents. And of course, as most applications involve wearing of gloves and complete clean room garment, this nice and crisp 7-inch touch display can of course be operated when still wearing gloves.
Yes, the keyboard of the machine is a touch screen. With the touch screen, it's easy to make the configuration and to adjust the machine to the application. But we also have the possibility, you could imagine if you want to create a UDI code, perhaps you need a lot number, a name of a product, or a number of a product. We have different possibilities to insert these data into the machine.
And I think now you would like to relate to the different possibilities to enter information, or
Yes.
probably even to our array of interfaces. So if I just probably mention them briefly, of course, with an advanced system like that, we have RS-232 standard interface. We have an array of USB connectors, sorry. We have the possibility to use Ethernet. Currently, the Ethernet port is directly connected to this innovative printing system. But as Wolfram wanted to mention, documentation is another key fact. And especially regarding documentation, the HM5000 PrintPak Med can offer you real benefits. So
I think you're speaking about the documentation.
Documentation,
that
Datamatic.
means we have very unique technologies inside the machine, such as datamatic. Datamatic means each sealing is stored, documented and stored in the machine with sealing parameters and the time and additional information. This is the datamatic. We have another technology, it's called the trace log. It's a logbook inside the machine. Very important for the audit trail. That means you see each action is stored inside the machine, like log in, log out, changing of sealing parameters and all these things.
So you could
are
basically track and trace really
Yes.
what was happening during the day, during production, operators working with the machine, logs being entered, programs being chosen, everything documented in our logbook.
Perhaps we can see the touch screen on the screen. I can also give some
So Wolfram
information.
will quickly demonstrate with an additional device that we prepared for you how easy and intuitive it is to actually wipe through menus or choose different options, or even to configure the home screen of your sealing device in a way that you could work most effectively as you just place the buttons or icons that you really need in daily use.
Yes, for example, here you see one app which I choose, for example, to create so-called receipts. We can adjust the machine, what we want to print. We can adjust the temperature and all these things. So we can also create our own screen. We also have standard applications which are already inside the machine. So it's easy to operate the machine via a touch screen. We are working with so-called apps, and just to give you a small overview what kind of apps we have seal check apps, we have printer options, we have ID lists, lot numbers, ref lists, which we can use with this machine. Easy to understand and easy to operate.
Okay, to sum things up, basically the HM500, by its intuitive app control and customization or full customization possibility of the actual home screen, you've got the tool for the task at hand and adapt it best possible way to your application. And of course, with this experience in previous medical industry projects, Wolfram can easily help and support you in finding the optimum configuration. But Wolfram, I think this device has a couple of more features that are worth mentioning. Our energy consumption probably.
Yes, we have the technology Green Tech, which is also very unique. We only need approximately 90 watts during the working of the machine, and we avoid to use a lot of spare parts. So it's not necessary that you change complete modules or something like that. We reduced the spare parts. This is a question of the price and also good for our environment.
Yeah, so of course the main key facts, again, I think you prepared this in your list that we have them all at a glance.
Sometimes we look inside.
So really you are looking at a machine first in its class that is capable to support you the best way possible in printing on flexible packaging material of really different material combinations. The wipe resistant ink that will dry in less than a second will guarantee that you have always the information that you need to present on your product available when needed. The product as such, low energy consumption, easy to service, and even the printing possibilities are basically endless, as Wolfram has demonstrated before. We don't only use an internal matrix printer that allows already printing of a lot of information. We can connect an additional label printer to have further information presented on labels. And of course, the real key fact here, the key feature is our innovative inkjet printing system.
You talked about data or information. The question is how I can insert all these information inside the machine, because, for example, UDI code is a combination of different information.
So there's even more possibilities than just the screen.
We can use, for example, a scanner. We could use, of course, a keyboard, a standard PC keyboard, USB keyboard. We could also use an RFID or a matrix reader. And as Dirk already informed you, we have an Ethernet interface. You could also connect the machine to, via the Ethernet to a network, and you can send the information to the machine. At the end, all the information are collected inside the machine, and the information will be sent to the printer, the inkjet printer, and the UDI code is created and printed to the pouch.
As you say, information, this reminds me of a further feature that we shouldn't miss out on. Information on sealing results. Wolfram mentioned already that we have the Datamatic function as well as the logbook, but this device will present also a very innovative feature called ProTrack, where you can track and trace individual data segments or information on individual seals along the way they are being made. And I think you told me about 1,000 data points,
yes,
approximately per seal, which really allows you to trace the performance, the pure sealing performance of this machine in front of you.
Yes, to say it in simple words, we are ready to know the temperature during the complete way of sealing seam. That means perhaps it's here 180 degrees, 179 and all, and we have approximately up to 1,000 points we can have. It's an option. It's an additional option you have with this machine. So you see we have a lot of different functions inside the machine, which could be in future really interesting or necessary. So with this machine you are prepared for stronger requirements which perhaps will come.
Yeah, and as always, requirements, demands relates to questions, and questions is a good point now. I think we covered pretty much all of the key facts of the machine, but as always, there might be the one or the other question coming up, not necessarily now, but probably also a little bit later. And of course, you are more than welcome to send them to us. Many of you know us personally, so either to Wolfram or me, and then of course we will deal with it. And especially for complex products or projects that involve such a machine with the optimum configuration, So far, Wolfram has always found a solution for you as a customer to really bring in line your customer requirement specification and what the machine has to offer to
And
you.
as I noticed, there is a question. Is that correct?
Okay.
Machine by an Ethernet connection, do you need a specific application installed on PC?
Well, if you communicate with machines, then of course you need a communication tool that allows at least to enter the commands that you would like to send to the machine.
We will have an interface description, and there you can see how to transfer, how to create the path where you have to send, or the machine has to send the information.
So typically, if you want to embed the system in a production management environment, then I would say, yeah, you need a software solution or a management system that is capable to communicate with the machine on time.
But for that, we will offer, of course, the support to help. And because the requirements are different, the networks are different, and
so each application is basically an individual and tailored then specifically to your needs. And I think that should answer the question.
Are there any standards in the market that is saying heat sealers need to be UDI ready? If so, what are they?
Sealer related, I wouldn't say no, because this is a production, let's say production device, but you as a manufacturer, you have of course requirements that are attached to your product, and requirements attached to the product is of course labeling
yes.
with all the required information on actually product identifier and production identifier.
Yes, and if it's requested, a lot of companies now want to print, of course, the UDI information. And this was the reason, because, for example, if you want to fulfill all these requirements, then you need a label or a labeling system like this system. This is the reason because we developed this system. No?
Okay, when there are no more questions at the moment, please feel free to contact us anyways when you think a little bit later, there was this one aspect I would like a little bit more information on. And I think, well, thanks Wolfram as always for your support. And I think the two of us, thank you for your participation. And probably see you next time, or even see you in front of one of those HAVO-made 5000 PrintPak med sealing devices.
Yes, and thank you very much that you participate today. And as you already said, contact us, ask us. We are always at your disposal for any support and any information.